I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a virtuoso for people like you. People seeking knowledge in the preparation of a set of drawings. Drawings that have been skillfully honed and refined over many years of meticulous commitment to craft and design. If you follow along, you may find yourself learning something you haven't previously considered. Now, keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the ride at all times. Please remain seated. Keep your eyes fixated on the screen, and enjoy your ride.
All right, welcome back. Just got through the site plan. We're going to move on, and this video is going to be about fixing our mistakes. So when we looked at the site plan last, I had previously put the north arrow in the wrong position. We had to flip around the plans and corrected them in this set. However, that meant the north arrow had to point down. So, of course, we get notes from other people that check our drawings and go, why is the north arrow pointing down when the site plan is essentially pointing up? And so I don't know that I want to rotate my plan the same orientation as the site plan, although that would be a nice way to go about it. I think at a minimum on my floor plans, we should have the north arrow at least pointing up with an indication of where the true north really is. So we're calling plan north and true north. So we're going to do that today. So let's hop over to the CAD files. And so I happen to be fairly lucky here because we have everything laid out on one sheet. In larger sets, if this is further down the road, you might have multiple sheets you got to update and all of that. So hopefully this should just be able to be handled in model space. And what I would do for that is when I flip things around, let's just do a simple flip here. And let's rotate maybe on this corner up here, do 180 degrees. Everything's upside down. Everything's upside down. We made this a block, that. It's not great. So I think that may be the best way to go. We're going to look at a couple of different options here. So I don't want to flip that. Maybe let's flip all of these the same way. So if I take my highest point, which presumably is somewhere in here, and my lowest point, which is presumably right there, right? Find the center point of that, which is right there. And then I take my furthest right point, my furthest left point, find the center of that, and then that. If you can figure out all that stuff, this is the center between those, this is the center between those, and that's the center of all of it. So what I'm going to do is, and maybe let's just clean this up a little bit more, since we have all these crazy layout lines. Actually put that on the layout line, so just in case we seem to forget it, it won't print. But if I copy that up, and remember we're a certain distance apart, these are 100 feet or 1,200 inches. So let's copy those. The reason I do 1,200 is because it's easier to type that than 100 and then move my hand over to do the foot mark. So if I start on the bottom, rotate right there, 180 degrees, rotate right there, 180 degrees, and rotate right there, 180 degrees. That means all of these should rotate 180 degrees. So our north arrow is back in the north direction. Oops. the right point. Oh man, that's not right there. Close enough for what we're doing. Oh, those all screw up. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Alright, let's just get rid of these. We'll fix it once and copy them up. So that I would really like to... If I'm setting up a drawing and you have to tilt your head a certain way, I like to always tilt it that way. So like I'm kind of tilting my head to the left to read that correctly. So that should be the norm if you have your text set up. So I can copy this 1200 and it goes to the right place. And I can copy this 2400 and it goes to the right place. So I shouldn't need these anymore because that was the rotation. Now, what happens if I explode this? So let's move this over 100 feet. That's a group, so if I updated the group, they'd all update. But let's see what happens when it explodes. Okay, so that makes all my dimensions correct. Excuse me. But I would like these up on top, and then everything needs to be switched. So where am I picking this up from? Where's my point? Right down there in the lower corner. So it'd be right there. So I can remember to track things here. Right? Yeah. Okay. So a quick way to do this is just to select all those, and I've set those up as though they're blocks. And so the rotation currently is 180 degrees because we just flipped them. Put those all back to 0. Oh, why did that do that? That's interesting. Oh, I had it selected. That's funny. That's where that was. Okay. Oh, dang it. Did I not do that right? Did I put them all back? Why did I do that? 0. There we go. 0 rotation. Maybe it didn't. Oh, dang it. Should do my numbers different too. Alright. Let's move them around. Didn't think about that at all. So... let's just rename them. Capital A. Capital C. I find this faster than moving and snapping. So again, it's a simple twist or flipping of your plans. Seems like, oh yeah, that's easy. We'll just flip them around. It's not always that easy. So depending on where you are in the project, this may or may not be an easy task to do. For this particular job, it's actually not that bad. And these guys, let's see. Let's move these down so my pieces don't get in the way. And move those up. I could certainly copy them up. I don't feel like I need them down there though. And we get rid of that guy quick. I'll make a new block with my fast Control-Shift-C. That's my base point. Control-Shift-V. That's where it snaps. Everything line up. Looks like it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is going to be our columns out here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so they'll switch. Oh, geez. I should have put that little column bases or something for my foundation. Right? Good thing to update now. So now that that is there, look at that. I'm a little too high for my printouts. Yeah. Let's just move these down. I'm going to do, again, if you remember, we can edit in place. Yes, that's the one. And then this can just slide down to fit. Remember, I made that white line to be where my viewport is set up, so that I know that if I'm outside of that white line, I'm outside of my viewport that I have set up. So it's an easy, quick way to check without having to go back. And then, because we copied all of these, I should just be able to delete and recopy this. Make sure it's on the right layer. It is not. It should be on the grid layer. And we'll move them all to the back eventually here. So copying up, I know I can do 1200 and 2400. They're all in the right spot. I'm going to move those to the back so that lines hide out, just like they're supposed to. And then let's copy these, just to make sure we're showing that on our foundation plan. 1200. These will probably just be sonotube kind of things, right? So a center point between these two is right there. What are we doing? About, do like a 12-inch, right? And something like that. What was this dimension? 21 feet. That looks too stupid. Let's do it 18. Just say, I want to make it look better. If we had structural on here, we would get a recommendation from them, and whoops, they would tell us what we wanted, or what that needs to be. So on here, we should probably dimension those two, which I've already got done. Since we can make things stack, let's just make them stack. Perfect. Now for text. So what do we got for text? Well, I don't have a lot of text. Let's do, where was I? Command called select similar. See what we select. There's a bunch of things there. And there's probably a bunch of things here that I don't want to select. So I'm going to hold shift and deselect everything over there. And this I can say rotate back to 0. In theory, these should all be able to move a certain distance and then reline up everywhere. See if we did that. Don't seem to have much text on here. That seems to be good. What else? So what else is upside down? So tags. Again, let's select similar. That selects everything in the drawing. Because I got my template, see it selected that guy too. So everything in my template I don't want to flip, so I'm going to hold shift and deselect all of those. The only thing that's left are the ones that I care about. And because those are groups, I can change that back to 0. They should all flip around throughout the whole thing. Good to go. These, why didn't these flip? I really like those two. Oh, flip different ways. Okay, anything else upside down? So again, see how the text, you have to turn your head to the left in order to read that text? That's just a function of how I have my dimensions set up. So when they're horizontal, you have to turn to the left. Everything else, looks like everything else is still correct. So go check our floor plans. Everything seems to fit. That looks good. We're going to reprint these. So let's double click into the XREF. Do I want to open the XREF? Yes. Automatically open. We're going to have another progress for today. Because we update it. Sometimes we type in what it's for. Other times it's just working in progress, so it doesn't really matter. I like to keep a running date. It shows every time I've worked on it. Get out of here, save changes. Yep. So now that, because I renumbered those things, that is probably going to screw up any other drawings that I've done. So let's go look at them. Actually, did I save these? Let's do a save, just so they're there. And what other drawings do I have? Site plan. I don't think I did any. I think I turned off the grid lines for site plans, but I do have elevations. So let's go look at that. So these will likely remain the same, but I believe the XREFs will be off, which would make my grid lines be off. So up here, remember, we had painstakingly aligned all of these, and why doesn't that look correct? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, because it's the other elevation now. That's interesting. So what about this guy? Yeah, they all flipped. So we're going to play musical chairs with these. So let's go. Let's draw lines for the A. So everything doesn't align anymore. Which is really, this is going to be the C, right? Let's do the 1 and the C. 1 and the C. Technically A. Right? So those are going to flip. Okay. So this guy, and let's shrink these down because I can. So this is going to be A, B, C. This is the front. Move this guy over here. Not line them up specifically. And that guy, I want to move over to the other one. Whoops, picked the wrong one. No, that's the right one. Same thing here. We're looking to do where the post is, which is that guy. We're going to move him over here. And then that guy, where the post is, we're going to move over here. So now that we've reconfigured our references, we can double check our grids and see that this should be C, just like we changed it before. This should be A. Those are right. This guy. So these flip. So that should be 1. Oops. 1, 2. Come on, let go. 3 and 4. Sometimes changes are a couple of clicks, other times they're not. So now if everything worked right, we should be able to mirror these guys on our centers that we had, and mirror those guys on our centers that we had. So, we had ABC, ABC, and we've got 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So those are also updated. Let's turn those back off since we don't need those on. We'll just freeze them right now. But they are aligned for any future updates and things that we need to do, which is great. That was the whole point. should have kept everything in their prospective places. And we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's the north. Oops, let me just double check that. Make sure these are still called the same thing, right? I think they should be, right? Because all I did, yeah, everything should have flipped. So this will be the north elevation. Yep. This is the west elevation, and it is. So these should certainly be, this is the south elevation, south it is, and this is the east elevation, east it is. Perfect. Turn our XREF back off, just freeze it. By turning the XREF off, switching to paper space goes much faster. So this sky update, that is updated. Okay. So let's do another progress print and call this a wrap. So just save that just in case. Let's include our site plan. So we can add those. Our site plan there, and then our elevations are last. So we've got the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, and we can publish. Put that in our job folder, under drawings, and the plots folder. Call it a new progress date of 5/14. No, I don't want to save the list. It's going to publish in the background, so we can continue drawing or doing whatever we need to do if we need to do something. That's all good. Yeah, so that's pretty much going to be the wrap-up of our video. The plot's done. Let's just double-check. I have this open. I think I do. Under drawings, plots, today's date. Okay, so most northernly for existing. Proposed. Now, north is still up, obviously, because we rotated it. The actual north goes that way. But north is still up on the plan. So that's really a preferred way. Try to do north up when you can. And so that means our front with the trellis will be the south elevation, which we're calling out as the south elevation. So we just double check. So our keys 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're good. ABC, ABC, ABC. These all should line up. So that's it. That's fixing our drawings, fixing our mistakes. Oh, there's a couple things. Let me go. I want to move those over. They didn't quite line up. We can certainly fix that as we go. I don't know if I'm going to print or reprint, but I will know that the next time I print it, these will be correctly aligned. And so this just be a little bit nicer if that was kind of in the center of the arrow. And the reason I did this now is because we're going to start to add more notes, more content, more door tags, window tags, interior elevation tags, all of that. And I didn't want to have to flip all of that at that, with all those other things in queue to flip. So that's why I'm trying to do this now. If you're already down the road with that, then perhaps flipping it is not the best idea at the time. Let me just draw the cupola as well. Just for an indicator. Seems good. We're not probably going to do anything there, but it's an indicator. You know what? We're not doing anything in there, so there's no reason to do an indicator. What the heck am I thinking? Okay, I think that's a wrap. We could reprint it, but I'm not going to. So the comment will be corrected, and I don't need to save that. Thanks for watching.